Welcome to class. You just need a chair, preferably one without arms. Um, that'll just make things much easier. Mine also doesn't have a back, but that isn't necessary. Chair without arms, bench without arms, that would work great. Okay, we are going to get started. So, let's come to the front edge of. Actually, let's start. We're sitting back, we're leaning back. Let's just start here for a second. Feeling the feet on the floor, arms at our sides. Just inhale, arms up. Exhale through center. Let's just do that 2 more times. Gaze can look up to see the hands connect. Exhale through center, 1 more. Okay, this time let's inhale up through center, exhale. Last one. And then let's wiggle our way to the front edge of our chair. Okay, so feet flat on the floor, and basically they're straight, but they can be wherever they are. And then what I want us to do is simply lift up the toes. Okay. And then you're going to curl your toes under. So the front of the foot will come off the ground in order to facilitate getting the toes under. Then we're going to reach the toes long and lift them up. And then we're going to curl them under. Think making a fist with your foot. And then reach and curl them up. 1 more time. Curl them under. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You might get some foot cramps. And then reach them up. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add to the toes the ankles. So we're going to lift up, crease the ankles. Okay, then you're going to keep those toes lifted, lift the heels. 1 more time. Front of the foot, lift the heels. Front of the foot, the heels, the front of the foot, lift the heels. Okay, now we're going to take all those toes and just the toes, so they're light on the floor. We're on our MTPs. Toes might not be touching the floor at all. And you're going to think if there's little lasers on the end of all the toes, they're all going to bend that way. And then they're going to bend that way. They're going to bend that way. And they're going to bend that way. And they'll move the feet. They might move the shins a little bit. But we're not looking for the shins to move necessarily. So just focus on articulating those toes, yawing them right, yawing them left. Okay, now we're going to take those toes instead of bending them left and right, and you feel how that kind of curves and uncurves the foot. We're going to take them and think of spinning the laser beams at the end of all of our toes to the right and then to the left. Right and then to the left. And you might have, again, some shin movement, but there shouldn't be much happening up here at the thighs. So just rolling the toes, rolling the toes. You'll feel how that rolls you to the inside and the outside edge of the foot, inside and outside edge of the foot. I think if someone grabbed your big toe and they were twisting it right and then twisting it left. Peeling up the outer edge, rolling down the outer edge. Peeling up the inner edge, rolling down the inner edge. Okay, let that go. Now I'm gonna lift one leg up. I've hooked it at the bottom of the shin. And this time we're gonna lift the toes, crease the ankle, curl the toes under, the toes, lift the toes up, crease the toes down. One more time. Okay, and this time that foot's gonna relax. I'm gonna think of the end of that first MTP joint, and then I'm going to write my name. It's my first name. Everybody's gonna write their first name with that first MTP joint. Okay, then we're gonna take the leg out long. I'm gonna hook underneath the thigh. Again, I'm gonna bring the toes towards my nose here, and then I'm gonna curl them under. Try to bring the toes towards the heel, and then bring them towards my shin. Reach the heel away, and then take the toes, curl them under towards the heel, and then towards the shin. Good. We're going to let that leg go. Coming to this one. Hook that shin. Okay. That shin. And again, with that, we're going to curl the toes up towards the shin and then roll them under, uncrease the ankle, and reach them. Good. And then taking that first MTP, I'm going to spell my first name with it. Good. Then I'm going to hook underneath the thigh. Take that leg out long. Again, reach the heel away. Toes come towards the shin. Curl the toes under. Trying to bring the underside of the toes towards the heel. Good. Last one. Place that foot on the floor. Okay, so feet, ankles, lower legs should feel nice and warmed up. And then what we are going to do is cross that right knee over the left. Okay, then I'm gonna bring this forearm onto opposite forearm onto that knee, hook the back of the chair, turn to look over that right shoulder. So just taking a twist to the right. And back center. This time, let's bring the palms together. We're going to come forward slightly so that you can get your elbow just above that knee. Okay. From here, I'm going to straighten the forearms and then bring my palms back together. Press. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. One more time. Good. And then we'll come back through center. Okay. Having that leg crossed, let's take that right ankle onto the left knee. So I'm in this figure 4 shape. Okay. And what I'm going to invite you to do is just notice where your foot goes. Okay. First thing I want you to think is making the distance from this inside ankle bone to the bottom of the heel and the outside ankle bone to the bottom of the heel the same distance. Okay, so engage, move, do whatever you need to do to find that same distance inside ankle bone to the outside of the heel. It's to the outside, okay? Then we're gonna bring that right hand underneath that right thigh. And you're gonna push that thigh. Think of trying to push it down towards the ground, but the arm is gonna resist it. As I do that, I'm gonna bring the chest towards the shin. And I'll feel some stretchy stuff in that right buttock. Keep pressing down, hand resisting, trying to pull up, thigh pressing down. You should feel like the label of the back of your pants moves forward to bring that chest forward, to bring that belly button down closer towards the floor and that left thigh. Don't be passive here. This is pulling up, this is pushing down. This is pushing down, this is pulling up. Feel lots of juiciness around the outside of that right thigh, and then relax, come up. We'll place that foot on the floor. Okay, let's cross that left knee over the right. Okay, so here we are. And to start with, I'm going to bring that forearm to that knee, that hand to the back of the chair seat or the back of the chair. Couple breaths here in this left twist. I might look over that left shoulder. Just imagine if you had a watch on that right wrist, you're trying to bring that right watch face towards the shin of that left leg. Now that helps twist you, okay? Then we're gonna come back forward, palms together. This time we're gonna hinge forward, bring that elbow just above that knee. Where I can get here. Palms together, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, press. Exhale, reach. Inhale, press. Exhale, reach. Inhale, press. Exhale, reach. One more time. Long through the crown of the head. Good. And then we're going to bring this left ankle of that right knee out in front of that right hip, heel underneath that knee. Here we go. I'm going to bring that left hand up and try to lift the leg up. And then I'm going to think like I'm taking this thigh and trying to push it down to the ground. As I do that, I start to bring the chest forward. I keep this isometric happening. It's kind of like I build up a press and then I kind of relax and then build up. The press pull again, sink further in, build it up again. Again, you'll feel stuff in that left hip predominantly. Keep working that isometric. And relax. Come on out. Okay, feet are coming onto the floor. Okay, we're gonna work a seated cat-cow with the hands open, okay? So we're gonna come forward, curl the fingers in, and then reach the fingers out, back. Good, think fingertips, curl in. Back of the wrists might find each other. And then reach out. Fingertips trying to find each other behind your back. And they curve in, elbows bend. Wrists come towards the breastbone. Think about getting really broad and wide through that back body. Spine flexes. Good, one more time. Think of the fingers trying to come towards the backs of the forearms. Rolling those traps in towards the spine. Good, and relax. Okay. I'm going to bring the legs out in front. So we're sitting on the front of that chair. Based on the edge of your chair, you might need to move more forward and or move back. You want to be where it doesn't feel like the edge of the chair is pressing into anything uncomfortable in the back of the hamstrings, the legs. So you kind of have to, some of us will be further back, knees might be a little bit bent, some of us are going to be quite far forward on that chair edge. So the legs are just reached out in front of us. I'm going to take one hand, reach it back, slide this one forward. It's going to come all the way up, turn me back in. Okay, I'm going to reach back and around. Let's lean back with it and then reach towards that other foot. Okay, lean back with it, reach towards that other foot. Reach towards that other foot, lean back with it, reach towards that foot, lean back with it, reach towards that foot, lean back with it. One more time this way, reach towards that foot, lean back with it. Okay, this time let's start to lean back with it and then reach towards that foot. So I'm going to lean back with it, reach towards that foot. I'm going to lean back with it, reach towards that foot, lean back with it, reach towards that foot. Okay, so either direction works, just moving us kind of with some twisting and some flexion of the spine. Just a nice way to kind of loosen things up. It can also be nice if it feels like your chair is slipping or anything, if you set that up again and then the balls of the feet were able to be on a like a retaining wall or a heavy piece of furniture or a wall of some sort. Do, do, do. Okay. Let's bring ourselves up to standing. Okay, so the chair is going to come to the side, and I want the back of the chair closest to the edge of your mat. I did indeed. So that opposite leg is in front. Let's try this again. Don't worry about that back heel. Let's work to have the hips be more square. Okay, even if the heel doesn't touch the ground, you do want to think heel reaching away from this buttock. Okay, because we'd like to have length through this back leg. From there, we're going to shift weight onto that front leg. Find our version of Warrior 3. Okay, from here, get a little squatted on that stance leg. We're going to find our half moon. Use the chair as you like to, either the back, the arm, the seat to find your balance point. Now that back leg, I'm going to take the inside edge towards the floor. Toes might touch. Yeah, the floor's a long way away. Might not. and then we're going to lift back up. Let the leg hang, and then lift back up. One more time, and then lift back up. Good. Then we're going to turn, find that warrior one again. Reach through that heel. Good. Hands might come to prayer. And then we're going to step both feet together into Tadasana. Okay, same thing, going to the other side. So I'm going to move my chair here. Other leg is in front. We step this guy back. Don't worry if that heel doesn't find the ground. Step yourself wide enough that you can find that sense of reach through that heel and through the back of this bottom thigh to get yourself into warrior one. Okay, then use the chair back for balance. Find your warrior three. However parallel the torso comes to the ground, the leg should come with. So if I tap those toes, my torso is going to come up. So think of this long line that is penduluming over that standing leg. Okay, then we're going to get a little squatted on that standing leg. Think of reaching the inside of that heel in. Find your half moon here. Unlike warrior three, where the torso followed the leg, I'm going to lower the leg. It might come to the ground. It might not. Oh, the ground's a long ways away. I'm going to lift it up. Lower the leg. Lift it up. Think of that outer edge like a knife. Slices up. Good. And then we'll find our way back to our warrior one. And step the legs together. So we'll go through one more time each side. That little sequence. So chair back is on one side of the mat. Opposite foot is forward. We're going to step back. So remember when we were seated in the chair and we were yawing and spinning the toes? I want you to work that action of the toes here to find the reach and pull, the push and pull between the front leg and the back leg that has you feel really supported through the pelvis and through your low back. You could also work the actions of the inside edge of the foot and the outside edge of the foot. Again, to get these lines that really hold your pelvis nice and secure. Shift the weight onto that front leg. Find your warrior three. So again, let's tap that toe, torso, think beak of the back of the head, and that heel. They move together, and we're pivoting over that standing leg. Have a little bend in that standing leg. Don't lock out the knee. Okay, next time, warrior three, find your way to half moon. Okay, now we're going to take that top leg, drop it down, drop it down, drop it down, and up, and up, and up. that standing glute on that stance leg is like working, working, working. And then let's find our warrior one. Again, work the action of the toes, the lines of the inside of the foot and outside of the foot to find your warrior one. And we're done that leg. Let's move that on up. One more time, last time on this side. If for your warrior one, you notice that your torso comes forward a bit, that's fine. Okay, so work the action of the legs, and the torso is going to go where it goes. So I don't want you to fight to push the torso vertical, but that ends up bending that knee. For this, for today, for this warrior one, I'd rather let you have that torso go where it goes and you work the opposition of those legs. Okay, shift that weight, move back a little bit onto that stance leg. Find your warrior three, like those little lawn ornaments. Heel and beak at the back of the head. Move together. Next time we come up, pause there, find your half moon Ardha Chandrasana, and then unlike warrior three, we're going to keep the torso here. Dip, lift. Work the action of the inner edge of that foot and outer edge of that foot. Last one. And find your warrior one more time. Step it together. Lovely. Use the chair. Do not fight for your balance. Work the actions of the feet. Okay? Okay, so we're going to put the chair right in the middle, the long edge of that mat. And take the feet out. So once the feet are out, I want you to think as you lower down, hands are going to be on the back of this chair. Inside edges of the heels, move forward towards this edge of the mat. Okay, that lowers us down. Press with the hands to help us come up. Lower down, press with the hands to help us up. Heels forward, 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 press. Good. This time stay down here. A little pulse. 4, 3, 2. Press through the ball of the foot. Okay. And then a little pulse down through the heel. Good. You're going to reach towards one edge of the chair and over. A little side bend. Reach to one end of the edge of that chair. Over. A little side bend. Once more each way. And then hands on the back of the chair. Whoo, press yourself up, toe heel, walk them back together. Give those legs a little shake. Okay. So we kind of did some balance work. We're going to come back to that in a second. One more time through goddess. So take those legs out. Toes are pointed out. Think heels forward, inside edge of the heel. Spins towards the front edge of the mat to lower you down. press up. Weight's really going to be in the ball of the foot as you lower down so that you can work the action of the heel. If your weight is in your heels, it'll be trickier than if you find weight in the balls of the feet. Okay, reach across and across, side bend and side bend and press. Good, heel toe in. Okay. So chair, one end of the mat, back closest to us. We are going to work folding up a leg, squatting on a leg. Folding up a leg, squatting on a leg. So we're coming to this single leg balance. Okay. From here, this leg's going to press out. Stay squatted on this leg. This leg just abducts, abducts, abducts. Now, I just want you to feel, lock out and stand straight on this leg, and then lift this leg. Feel the difference. Get squatted on this leg. This leg's also a little folded. So we've got a lot different range of motion if we get a little bit squatted. From there, I'm going to bring this knee up, catch it with the hands if I want. Okay, then arms out, press that leg, and then from there, warrior three. Come as close to parallel or not as you want to, and then find your way to chair pose, and we're coming up. Okay, so we're working the action. We've got a swing leg in the air and a leg on the ground, very similar to what happens when we are running. Okay, is one leg's in the air moving, one leg's on the ground. So other side, gonna get a little bit squatted, fold up that other leg. I find the little like march kind of helps. Then I'm going to take abduct, abduct, get a little squatted. Good, then we're going to catch this knee out in front. Then we're going to extend it out and then find your way to a version of warrior three. And chair pose. Okay, work and strengthen those feet and ankles. Other side. I'm going to come a little bit away from the door there. There we go. Okay, get a little squatted, get a little squatted, get a little squatted. You'll notice that now, like, your heel might be in and the ball of your foot out slightly versus your foot being dead straight. If keeping your foot dead straight has it kind of impede being able to get squatted on this leg, or what ends up happening is that the hip wants to go out. Plant the ball of the foot, bring the heel in. Make space so that that hip can sink back into the joint. Back into the joint versus if you try to keep that foot straight, some of us then, when I go here, it's instead of back, my hip's going to go out. Instead of back with that straight foot, when I get squatted on it, the hip's going to go out. So if that's what's happening for you, plant the ball of the foot, bring the heel in slightly so that when you remove that other leg and you get squatted, you can feel yourself sit back on that leg rather than swiveling out. Okay? So let's sit back on it. Lateral raise, lateral raise, lateral raise, lateral raise. Good. Bring that knee up, extend the leg out, find your warrior three, and then back to chair. Beautiful. Let's hit that on the other side one last time. Okay, get squatted, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, lateral raise, lateral raise. And you might find one leg kind of goes more directly out to the side and one kind of goes back on a bit of an angle. And that is perfectly a-okay, but it should feel like you've got room in your hip socket and nothing is like, feels like it's running into itself, okay? Catch that knee. Extend it out. Warrior three. Chair pose. Lovely. Let's bring it up. Okay. All right. We're already heading into our restorative postures. So, I'm gonna put this at this end. Okay. You might want a blanket or towel handy, or a couple of yoga blocks. So, if sitting on your shins is no bueno for you, then you're going to get a couple of yoga blocks, sit them under your bum, and then your knees will be bent, feet on the floor out in front of you, or you can have your legs extended out long. Either one works. But you won't be able to have your butt on the floor because it'll have the chair be at the wrong height. Okay. And then you might use a blanket or another yoga block for where we end up getting the chair. So I've lifted up the front edge to kind of get the chair rolled underneath my shoulder blades. And then I'm letting it slide a little bit, find the floor. I'm gonna need this guy. There we go. So we're looking for this kind of smooth arc. There we go. I've got it in the right place. And then I'm just going to rest my arms on it, just into this bit of a back bend. So there's more pressure kind of in my fronts of my ankles. There's not much pressure in my knees because my weight's gone back to put me into this back bend. So that's where if your ankles can't really tolerate this kind of pressure, my sit bones are kind of sitting on my heels. The chair arms and back work really well for me to hook my arms and my upper arms kind of to frame my head. The bottom edge of my shoulder blades is kind of hitting the edge of that chair seat. And I would describe it as kind of equal weight between my torso on the chair and my legs on the ground. Okay, and then to come out, I'm going to find my head with my hands. Woo! Slide my hands down my legs and bring myself forward and off those legs. Then we're going to take it to a bit of a side bend. So leg out long. Again, you might use the towel pad. Okay. You could find if your hip doesn't kind of let the leg lay down like this, then I would prop up the pelvis on a couple of blocks, and or set this leg up like this rather than opening it out, because otherwise you'll kind of be fighting the pelvis when you come into the side bend. And you want this half of the pelvis to be able to kind of stay anchored. Okay, so from here, what you're going to do is find the edge of that rib cage, kind of the armpit. I like to kind of move out and over that extended leg a little bit to the degree that this hip stays heavy. Okay, so I've got a rolled, it could be a towel, belt pad, and I'm kind of finding the part of my armpit that is comfortable and tolerates that chair edge. And could be on the chair seat like I've got it here. It could be down here. It could be resting on this hip. Could also reach up, framing the head, finding that other hand in that chair back. You'll know the one for you because kind of when you get there, it's like your breath will just kind of settle. You'll feel how your pelvis is able to be heavy, how there's a sense of kind of length and expansion and lifting up through the torso, and then a grounding, settling down. Okay. I like to kind of roll forward to come off, and then we just set up on the other side. No, that's funny. Yeah, on this side it's like I don't on the other side it was like the chair legs were on either side of that leg. On this side my brain is like nope, nope. um so don't look to kind of try to set up symmetrically on both sides. Start to listen to how your system wants to come into the pose on each side. And again, you'll know you need to adjust because if you come in and your breath is kind of thin or thready, it's not a matter of like staying there and manipulating your breath. That's like a signal. Like your system doesn't want to be here right now in this way. Um, and so readjust. Okay. And then roll yourself off of that. And I'm going to place the chair there. Um, because I don't have I've got space at the back of my chair, and because chair seats are kind of slanted, I'm gonna flip my chair for Shavasana so that I don't have pressure on the underside of my calves. There we go. So that the legs are on a bit of a decline. I'm gonna opt today to snuggle up into that chair back so my heels are hanging off the front edge. Okay. And then hands could be on the pelvis, hands could be on the ribs, arms could be out to the side, palms up or palms down. Just take a second and roll those shoulder blades underneath. Have some space between the earlobes and the tops of the shoulders. You might bring your thumb tip to a fingertip. Maybe it's take a second and just bring your thumb tip to each fingertip and kind of land on which thumb and fingertip want to be joined on the right hand and which thumb and fingertip want to be joined on the left hand. And again, you're just looking for maybe that little softening or widening of the inhale or the exhale, or kind of a sense of somewhere in the body or the system that just sighs a little bit. And then we're going to soften our attention, let it expand out. And we're going to practice being the observer of our attention. So we aren't our attention, we're the one watching our attention. And you don't need to direct it anywhere or make meaning of it. We're simply going to practice for the next several minutes, just noting where the attention goes and following it. And become aware of the sounds of the room that you're in and of my voice. Become aware of the sensations of the body, sensations of pressure and numbness, tingling, warmth, coolness. You will start to bring movement back to the body. That might be wiggling fingers and toes, or drawing a knee into the belly or chest, or stretching the arms out overhead. Whatever that is for you, start to move there. Then we'll make our way onto a side. Pause there for a few breaths before we meet up in seated. Then we're going to use the arm and the hand to press ourselves up. Hands could rest in a lap, or you might bring the palms together, thumbs just to the left of the breastbone in Anjali Mudra. Let's take a breath in with ease. And a breath out with okayness. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace.